Thank you for tuning into day 3 of the 17 Days of Sustainability. We hope you enjoyed today's broadcast and are excited for the days to come. Today, you heard opening remarks from Microsoft's VP of AI and Sustainability Strategy, Gretchen O'Hara. Following our opening remarks was Dr. Michael Maniak, the Global Medical Affairs Executive Director for GlaxoSmithKline.
Is there anything about the disease that you could share with our audience that you might know about?
Yeah, let me first say that as in my work with these Fortune 500 companies, there's one in particular, Accenture, that I've worked with since 2012 as their chief medical advisor for crisis response. And their concern was a disease like this. What if we have a pandemic? How are we going to manage that from a business standpoint? That's huge. They have 500,000 employees, so that's a real issue for business continuity.
Following Dr. Maniak was Johnson & Johnson Vice President of Federal Government Affairs in Canada, Jane Adams.
And the pledge is really to reinforce, Johnson & Johnson, the reason that we signed it and that we're so supportive is that we've always believed and we've always been vocal about a strong FDA and the strong regulatory agencies, not just in the United States, but around the world. And our commitment, again, to patients, to consumers, to customers, that doesn't change. It doesn't change despite what I was just talking about as far as kind of the politics around the vaccine and the pandemic. We stay true to not just our credo, but again, to the patients we serve. And it's a reminder that that's the confidence that we hope that not just the American people, but global populations have in not only Johnson & Johnson, but our industry and our commitment to deliver on a safe product.
Tim Paidos, Vice President and General Manager for IBM Government, spoke at 12 p.m. today.
We're not out of this yet. And, new crises will kind of come down the path. But you know what? We as a society, as a civilization, whether that's in the U.S. or worldwide, we've been here before. We had the Spanish flu in 1919. We've had great wars. We've had economic crises, right? So we've been through this before, and each time we've emerged more resilient and better off for it, right? More resilient and more healthy.
Following Tim was Dr. Rhonda Meadows, President of Population Health Management at Providence St. Joseph Health and CEO of ION Health Solutions.
How have you seen Providence adapt to this pandemic in terms of innovation and process?
Well, George, Providence actually had the first case of documented COVID back in February. And when that occurred, we immediately had all hands on deck. But what ended up happening was we recognized, I think, early on the need to change how we not only deliver care, but also how we operate and how we move about and actually work with each other as well as people in our community.
We then heard a fascinating power chat from David Casey, Vice President of Workforce Strategies and Chief Diversity Officer for CVS Health.
In health especially as well. And so what do you see, again, from your very unique vantage point, what do you see, David, as the best approach to dealing with these racial disparities in health?
George, I think one of the things we have to do is to be willing to call them out for what they are.
Lastly, at 3 p.m. was a presentation from UNICEF USA, led by Christina Shapiro.
So where are we today? I think that was one of the central questions you asked, Christina, at the start. I think we can actually say, look, immunization has had an incredible success and impact globally. Today, 85% of children globally are reached through immunization services. And this is a huge uptake from 40 years ago, where it was around 30%. Even 20 years ago, it was around 70%. So I think the immunization program vaccinates approximately 116 million children each and every year as we go forward.
And lastly, at 4 p.m., you heard from Vice President and Chief Health Officer of IBM, Q Rhee.
I think the whole world has gotten a literacy lesson as it relates to public health and the curve of COVID, whether that curve represents cases, hospitalizations, and unfortunately deaths. And these are, curves as it relates to cases of COVID as you look across since the beginning of this crisis and this pandemic. And you've got every country, every region, every county and state looking at their respective curves.
Tomorrow, Tuesday, September 22nd, will be day 4 of the 17 days of sustainability, and we have a day packed full of content surrounding Sustainable Development Goal number 4, quality education. Starting at 10 a.m., Gretchen O'Hara will give her opening remarks and describe exactly what Goal 4 is. From there, we'll jump into a power panel led by ACS Athens President Dr. Peggy Polonis at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time. The following in order is scheduled for the rest of the day for September 22nd. Working Nation with Jane Oates at 11:30, a power panel discussion orchestrated by Summer Discovery at 12:30, Atul Tandon, CEO of Opportunity International at 1:30, a power panel led by Kim Smiths, IBM's Global Vice President at 2:30, Dr. Valerie Calderon, Senior Consultant at Gallup at 3 p.m., another interview by Working Nation at 4 p.m., a youth panel led by Gretchen O'Hara at 5 p.m., Alaska Airlines VP of External Relations Diana Burkett-Rakow speaking with Sharu Jain, the VP of Merchandising and Innovation for Alaska Airlines at 6 p.m. And then to close the day, Candace and Sherry from Boeing. We would like to take time to thank all the participants for day 2 and cannot wait to hear the insights of our day 3 speakers. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment on what goal appeals to you and which insights you found most interesting. At IdeaGen, we have hosted summits around the world for the past decade with global leaders and luminaries. We have heard their insights on how their organizations have made huge impact on a global scale. But now you have the opportunity to join us and get an inside look at the journeys of these global leaders with IdeaGen's new masterclass. IdeaGen's masterclass provides viewers an unprecedented and never before seen look into the lives and stories of the world's most influential leaders. You may be familiar with the accomplishments and successes of many of these leaders from their time spent on the global stage. But do you know how they arrived and where they are today? The challenges they may have faced and the obstacles that they overcame? IdeaGen's masterclass will provide you with a backstage pass to their life and journey, an up-close and personal look at global leaders and luminaries, including former Ambassador John Negroponte, the first Director of National Intelligence, Robert Rees, founder of the CEO Forum, Dr. Robert J. Brown, former advisor to Martin Luther King Jr. and Nelson Mandela, plus many more. Be inspired as IdeaGen interviews global leaders and luminaries on their impact and join the masterclass to discover their journey to success. Visit our website, IdeaGen Global, and follow the tab to our masterclass to get more information and subscribe today. For the next 17 days, you will hear how some of the world's largest organizations are addressing the Sustainable Development Goals. If you are looking to learn more about the Sustainable Development Goals, IdeaGen has developed the Global Leaders Academy. You will learn all 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals from the global leaders who are invested in seeing the goals achieved by 2030. You will learn to lead through solution and design thinking with instructors from Microsoft, the United Nations, and more. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 4 of the IdeaGen 17 Days of Sustainability. Thank you.